Good morning, students. Today we'll study the topic of sensors and transducers. Now, first to start with, what is the definition of a sensor and the definition of a transducer? What is a sensor? A sensor is a device which detects one form of energy and produces corresponding electrical signal. The definition of a transducer. A transducer is a device that converts one form of energy into another form of energy. In a transducer, the input is basically a physical form. It can be anything: mass, pressure, force, temperature, resistance. But the output is an electrical signal such as voltage or current. Either voltage or either current. So what is a sensor? Sensor is a type of a transducer. So the basic definition of what is a sensor and what is a transducer, there is a difference. And a sensor is a type of a transducer only. To begin with, we'll start with classification of sensors or transducers. Now, as I told you, sensor is a type of a transducer itself. Sensors are classified based on various aspects. Okay, that is first based upon transduction principle. That is resistive sensors. The output of the resistive sensor is change in resistance corresponding to change in measurand. That is example to begin with: strain gauge, change in resistance with change in application of pressure. Then one more example, resistance temperature detector, that is change in resistance with change in temperature. And thermistor, change in resistance with change in temperature. Okay, so here when you talk about the resistive sensors, the example strain gauge, it is again change in resistance with change in the applied pressure. Resistance temperature detector, change in resistance with application of change in temperature. And thermistor is also a temperature sensor. Again change in resistance changes the temperature. Next, second is capacitive sensors. The output of capacitive sensor is change in capacitance corresponding to change in measurand. Third example, inductive sensors. The output of inductive sensor is change in inductance corresponding to change in measurand. The fourth example, piezoelectric sensor. Piezoelectric sensor consists of the piezoelectric crystal. Again, it converts pressure signal into electrical signal. Fifth, thermoelectric sensor. It converts thermal energy into voltage signal. Example stated here, thermocouple. The sixth one, photovoltaic sensor or photoelectric sensor. Okay, there are changed electrical properties due to the incident light. Example, solar cell, LDR and photodiode. Right? So these are the classification of sensors or transducers based on the transduction principle. Resistive sensors, capacitive sensors, inductive sensors, piezoelectric sensor, thermoelectric sensor and photovoltaic sensor or photoelectric sensor. Okay. Now the second classification is, it is based on necessity of excitation for obtaining voltage or current output. That is active sensor and passive sensor, two types of sensors. Active sensor is a sensor which does not require any external energy to generate voltage or current output upon applying input measurand. No external energy required. Example, thermocouple, piezoelectric sensor, solar cell and tacho generator. So these sensors, they do not require any external energy. That's why they are known as active sensors. The second classification, passive sensor. Passive sensor is a sensor which requires external energy, that is some auxiliary power supply, to generate voltage or current output upon applying input measurand. Example, RTD, that is resistance temperature detector, strain gauge, LVDT, linear variable differential transformer and LDR, light dependent resistors. They require some external energy, that is some auxiliary power supply. The third classification now, based on direct, indirect sensing of measurand. Okay, primary sensor, and secondary sensors. Now, what is primary sensors? The sensor which accepts measurand as the input and converts it into another quantity corresponding to the input. Okay, primary sensor. Example, LVDT for displacement measurement, that is linear variable differential transformer for displacement measurement. Strain gauge for pressure measurement. The second one, secondary sensor. The sensor which accepts output of the primary sensor as input and converts it into another quantity called as the secondary sensor. Example, LVDT for pressure measurement. That is linear variable differential transformer. Then the fourth classification based on transduction principle, that is it is based on the form of output. Analog sensors and digital sensors. Analog sensors, the output of analog sensors is analog in form. Example, linear variable differential transformer, strain gauge, thermocouple. Okay, that is whatever you get at the output of the analog sensors, whether it is an electrical output such as voltage or current, it is in the analog form. The second is digital sensors. The output of digital sensors is digital form. Example, rotary and absolute encoders, proximity switches. Okay. Next is the motion sensors. Motion, you know what is motion, like displacement, velocity, acceleration. So what are motion sensors? They are used to sense or measure the motion related parameters like displacement, velocity, acceleration sensors, which are available in the linear as well as rotary motion. Okay, so these were the classification of transducers, sensors related with the transduction principle on the working. Now the first to start with, we will study what is an LVDT. LVDT is a linear variable differential transformer. It is transformer, not transducer. The name of LVDT. Fine? Okay. Now what is LVDT? What is LVDT to start with? As we have seen, it is mentioned mostly everywhere. What is LVDT or on which principle it works? LVDT is a widely used sensor transducer for the measurement of linear displacement. It is a transformer with one primary winding and two secondary windings, as you can see. It works on the principle of voltage transformer mutual inductance, mutual induction, that is. Now, as you can see in the diagram, your linear variable differential transformer has a single primary winding and two secondary windings, S1 and S2, which are wound on a cylindrical former. Both the secondary windings S1 and S2 have equal turns and they are identically placed on the either side of the primary. As you can see in the diagram, the soft iron ferrite core is placed inside the former. The primary winding is fed through AC excitation source. Okay. The object whose displacement is to be measured is connected to the core through the arm, as you can see on the left hand side. Object. The entire assembly is enclosed in a stainless steel body with electromagnetic shielding. Okay. Now the two secondaries of LVDT, yeah, as in shown in this diagram. The two secondary windings of LVDT are connected in series opposition as shown. This is the diagram. The primary of LVDT is fed by AC excitation, which that particular voltage is transformed to the secondaries due to the mutual inductance between primary and secondary winding. The voltages induced in S1 and S2, that is VS1 and VS2, with mutual inductances M1 and M2. They depend upon the core position. Now here the core position is at the center. When the core position is at the center, you are having VS1 is equal to VS2. When the core shifts towards S1, you are having VS1 voltage is greater than VS2. When the core position shifts towards VS2, you are having VS2 is greater than VS1. Now, the mutual inductances, as I told you, M1 and M2 depend upon the core position. So, The values, yes, the primary, the voltages induced in S1 and S2 are Vs1 is equal to M1 di by dt, Vs2 is equal to M2 di by dt. As the two secondaries are connected in series opposition, the output voltage VO is equal to Vs1 minus Vs2. Now here the core position is at Vs1, where the output VO is directly proportional to M1 minus M2. Yeah, it is stated here when the core is at the center, M1 is equal to M2 and net voltage is 0. This is referred as the null position. Okay. As the core moves towards S1, Vs1 becomes greater than Vs2 and net voltage is positive. When the core moves towards Vs2, your Vs2 becomes greater than Vs1 and net voltage becomes negative, 180 degrees phase shift. Now we'll study the input-output characteristics of LVDT. This is the diagram. Okay. Now as you can see, towards the X it is S1. From 0 towards the left it is towards S2. Right. The actual characteristics differs from ideal characteristics. The one at the top is ideal, the other at the downwards is actual. The actual characteristics differs from ideal characteristics due to harmonics in the input excitation, stray capacitance and coupling between the primary and secondary winding. Okay. So this is the characteristics of LVDT. Yes. We'll stop here for today. Thank you.